Assistant Professor, Department of Management Studies, Sai Vidya Institute of Technology. So today I am going to discuss and one of the important topic in service marketing is yield management. So yield management is nothing but the revenue recognition. So each service industries have their own ambition to maximize their revenue. So today I'm going to discuss how the yield management will influence the service marketing. So any industry if you take, any manufacturing industry or service industry, any industry if you take, their main goal is maximize their revenue. So today I'm talking about this concept. So today's agenda is the meaning of yield management and what is the benefits of yield management and which are all the problems involved in the yield management. In today's video I'm going to discuss on these three important elements of yield management. So I already told you yield management means it is a maximization of profit or maximization of revenue. So with especially the service industry, if the service is effective, so definitely the company or service industry is able to earn or maximize their profit. So let us start. What is the meaning of yield management? Yield management has been defined as the process of allocating the right type of capacity to right kind of customer at the right price so as to maximize revenue or yield. I already informed you that yield management, in order to get a yield or a return, we should have a right type of employees. Means employees plays very important role, significant role in the service industry. Any industry if you take, for example, either banking sector, either financial institutions, or hospitality, or tourism, or hospitals, or education institutions, any service industries if you take, so we need an effective employee. So allocation of employees and the right kind of customers, so the loyal customers, so it will influence the right price so as to maximize the revenue or yield. So one more meaning I have given, yield is essentially a measure of the extent to which an organization resources is nothing but man, capital, machinery, investment. So all this, if the resources is effectively, so then we can achieve their full revenue generating potential. So assuming the total capacity and maximum price cannot be changed. One more meaning I have given, that yield approaches as actual capacity utilization increases or when a higher actual price can be charged for a given capacity used. So these are the meaning of the yield management. So I already told you that any industries if you take, their main vision or goal or objective will be earning profit. So for earning profit, they need to maintain a morality or an ethics they have to maintain, because if they are fully focused on the profit means the company cannot sustain in today's competitive environment. So in their vision they should always have profit or providing effective services or wealth maximization. So with these three core elements that the company can sustain today. So let us go for the next concept, that is benefits of yield management. So how this yield management will influence about advantages or benefits. So let us start one by one. It will improve forecasting, improve seasonal pricing. The yield management will identify new market segments, and yield management will identify market segment demands, and it enhanced coordination between front office and sales division, and determination of discounting activity, improved development of short-term and long-term business plans, established of value-based rate structure, savings in labor cost and other operating expenses. This planned responses to guest inquiries or requests regarding reservation. So let us discuss each advantages or benefits one by one. So the first concept is improved forecasting. So forecasting is nothing but a planning. So in the service industry, they should plan first. For example, in any, if you take tourism industry, see, if you take tourism industry, they should plan first in the occasion of festival how to get a customer, how to retain the customer, and how to give a proper service to them. So that's what the company should plan first. This yield management will influence them to plan on the improvement of forecasting. And the second advantage, the improved seasonal pricing. The price will also be more influence on yield management or any industry. Why this pricing plays an important role on yield management? Because the price fluctuations will be there. Always the service customers will always focus on the pricing. They need the reasonable price as well as quality services. These two important elements will play on the yield management. If these two important elements is there, if the service industries is providing good services, so then we can, the company can organize a better services or and also a better price facilities to the customer. And the third advantage, identification of new market segments. Segmentation means there may be a geographical segmentation or psychographical segmentation or demographical segmentation. So the yield management will influence on all this segmentation. For example, if you take demographical segmentation, it's always focus on what is the gender, what is the income, what is the age, what is the education. So all these parameters will be evaluated by the market segment. So the yield management always it will make fluctuation on the market segments. Why? Because it will divide the customers. It will divide the customers on basis of demographical segmentation. So if, for example, if you take any and literates or any officials, they will able to spend money for any tourism business. Okay, so this segmentation will mainly influence on the service customer, especially on basis of the price, on basis of the service quality. At the same time, we usually explain on the rural people, means they may not identify or they may not get a proper idea about all this segmentation. So that's why yield management will give focus on new market segments or nothing but new market, either demographic or psychographic or behavioral segmentation. For behavioral, for example, if you talk about rural people or urban people, here urban people they are well educated. Educated means they able to identify what is the quality of price they are providing, what is the quality of service they are providing to the customer. But at the same time, in the rural people, they may lot of confusion will be there, indifferences will be there in the kind of services the company is providing. So the yield management will always means take into consideration of the market segments. And the fourth one, market segment demands. So yield management will make segmentation demand. For example, I will tell you in Dasra movement, in Dasra occasion, they all in the entire India, they will focus on the Dasra season. But at that time, as a service industry, we need to focus on this segment demand. For example, at that moment, at the Dasra moment, all hotels or all accommodation will be costlier. If any a single BHK or any 2 BHK houses will be costlier. Why? Because that is the moment they will fix a demand. That is the moment they want to maximize their profit. Any service industries or tourism also. If you take KSRTC, for example, at the Dasra moment, they will raise the prices of tickets. So this is one of the core area that yield management will always make the service industry, especially demand whenever in the time of festival or in the occasion. So any functions, the mainly the service industries will raise the prices and it will make a demand for the customer. Next, it will enhance coordination between front office and sales division. Front office employee in the service industry, front office employees and play important role because if you take hospitals, the nurse will be always will be the front office employees. For example, if a person met with an accident, so he will admitted to hospital. The first and foremost thing, the front office, the nurse will come forward and she will make help. She will provide first aid to the patient. So therefore, these are the people will be called as the first aid. Or if you take, for example, hotels and all, the receptionist will be there. They are called as front office employees. So they will guide you, they will suggest you about the price, about the quotation, or about the rooms and all availability is there. So they will guide you, the customer. So this will help the customer, the front office employees will always help the customer about, they will give the suggestions to the customer about the price or quality or the availability. Okay, so all this because of the yield management. So yield management will enhance coordination between front office and the sales division. And the next advantage is determination of discounting activity. So discounting activity, it's nothing but giving a discount or a price discount for a customer. If whenever the demand is more, for example, if you see at this moment in the winter season, in tourism business, if you take, especially in Jammu Kashmir, Simla and all, see almost all the hotels will be busy because at that time they will offer some discounting activity. Or if you take the aeronautical business or aeronautical, if you take Indigo as a special air flight, so at that time, whenever the customers are more, they will offer some discount. In the discount pricing they will offer. So therefore, this because of the to earn revenue and the mass customer will be there and the mass customer will be there. So therefore, any industrial trips will be there. For example, any software industries, they weekend they will organize certain trips to several states or other states. So at that time, this discounting activity will always help the customers as well as the service industry also to maximize their profit. So and also it will improve development of short-term and long-term business plan. So in this case, a short-term business plan will always yield less revenue generation, and long-term business plan will maximize the profit. So keeping in this mind, this concept in the mind, the industry should always focus on the long-term business plans, especially in the service industries. For example, if you take any transportation business, if you take, then always keep in mind the long-term business plans. For example, if you take KSRTC and private sector, see there will be a lot of competition will be there in the public sector and also the private sector. In certain occasion, in certain time, for example, if you festival season, the KSRTC buses will offer some discounts. Why? Because in order, this is a long-term plan. Because the reputation of the industry will improve, the reputation of the service industry will improve, and the customer will recognize the services. So, keeping in mind this concept, the service industries have to always make a long-term business plan. In types of short-term business plan, see it will be either 1 week if you provide. For example, private industries they may provide 1 week, or 1 month they can provide a discount in the prices. But in the long-term view, if you focus on this, they may not able to provide a good services compared to our KSRTC and all. So therefore, this always this improve the yield management will improve the development of short-term and long-term business plans. And the next concept is it will establish a value-based rate structure. A value-based rate structure is nothing but the brand. The brand level will improve. In the yield management will imbibe all the concept of the brand or recognition of the brand by the customers. How the customers will recognize the brand? For example, if you take the IT industries, IT industry is also a service sector industries. So India's topmost industry is TCS. So how the public will recognize the TCS because of their value-based rate structure. So therefore, the yield management will influence in those companies will establish a value-based rate structure. And one more advantages of yield management is it will savings in labor cost. So always any service industry or manufacturing industries, if you take, their main intention is minimize the cost. Minimizing the cost will always affect on the profit. So considering this concept, the industries, service industries, they always minimize the cost or expensive, low expensive. The reason is today competition, almost all if you take any industries, competition will be there. So competitive advantage strategy they have to implement in the service industry means they have to minimize the cost. Minimizing the cost because in price, in the establishment of price, they should give discount and services if you take they should provide an effective service, excellent service to the customer, and the customer should not feel an inconsistency or uncomfortable about the service industry, especially in the tourism sector if you take. So, or hospitals if you take, the patient should not feel uncomfortable about the doctor, so that they can maintain. So, if all this will influence on the especially in the savings of the labor cost. And the next one is planned responses to guest inquiries or requests regarding reservation. So the yield management will also influence the reservation system because on the type of in the time of festival season, the all buses will be reservation will be there and hotels will be reservation will be there. So at the moment when reservation is improving, so the industry, service industry have to feel that they can earn the profit or they can maximize their revenue. So these are the certain benefits of yield management. So already I informed you, if a company is focusing always on the profit means they cannot sustain in the competitive environment. They should always focus on the profit and also wealth maximization and also effective services, effective product. So all these segments, all these elements, if they focus, definitely they will come forward. The industry can emerge in any sector. In any sector, if it is service sector, it can emerge, or manufacturing sector also, it can become a recognizable brand all over the country. So let us come to what are the disadvantages will also be there. So what are the disadvantages? Incompatible or incentive and reward system, especially if a company is maximizing the profits and all. So always there will be recognition will be there. So if in the time of Dasara season, all the hotels will be booked, all the hotel demand will be there. So at that time, who will be recognized? The manager will be recognized because of the management will think that because of the manager we got a huge revenue. So this makes certain misconception between the employees and the managers and the management. So that is the incompatible incentive. We should recognize the service of the employees. So I told you the frontline service providers are the core people in the service industries because if you take any companies, if you take hospitals, the first person who come forward is the supplier in the hotels. Okay, the customer will not see the management or manager. They will first approach from the supplier. So that's why the employee should be recognized. So the next concept is inappropriate organization. See, they may be while organizing, especially in the functions and all, and inappropriate organization will be there based on the price. If, for example, if you take any airlines, for example, if you book any tickets in advance 1 week before, the prices will be less. Or if you need emergency, you have to travel, then immediately the airlines company will raise the price. So there will be inappropriate organizations will be there. And again, if you take any event management and all, so event managers, there will be a differences will be there because if you provide a good financial support to them, they will effectively manage or effectively do their services effectively at any function. Any function will be there. They will plan and execute. They will implement and make success of any function. So if you are offering less price, so in that only they will demotivate. So demotivate will be there. Then there is no planning will be there. There is no execution will be there, and there is no implementation will be there. So next disadvantages if you take, so lack of employee training. So employee training also, any service sector if you take, they should have proper training facilities. If you take five-star hotels and all, the suppliers or they will provide a proper training and importing of the knowledge, how to behave with the customer, how to treat the customer. So lot of training should be provided. But at the time of demand is there, at the time of seasonal occasion, there is no lack of training. So employees, they will know proper training will be there. Maybe they will behave, they will abuse the customer. So this kind of activities will go on at the time of whenever demand will be there. So loss of competitive focus. Why? The reason is loss of competitive focus because of the profit maximization. If any industries, if you, they want to maximize their profit because of they want to maximize their profit means certainly they are losing their brand name in market. I already informed you, any service industry if you take, profit should be intention at least 20 to 30%. Remaining element should be providing services. Quality is the main strength. So we need to treat the customer, providing good service quality to the customer. We need to treat the customer. So therefore, we need to satisfy the customer. We need to reach their expectation. So then only we should always, our ambition, the profit should be 20 or 25%. Remaining 75%, the main ambition of the company is to provide good services. They need to reach the customers. Whatever the expectation of the customer, they need to fulfill. So next, employee morale problem. So in this yield management, employee morale problems will also be there. Why? Because indifference of the employees. While providing salary, they will make indifferences as based on the segmentation. For example, if you take any service industry, if they are localites, they will offer with the less salaries. If they are from different states, they will offer some more salary. So like that, the treatment of employee should not feel that discomfort. They should always feel that an aspiration, or they should appreciate the employees. Though moral problems will also will be there during the dissatisfaction of the salaries and all. So the last part of disadvantages is that is, if customer learn that they are paying a higher price for service than someone, they may perceive the pricing as unfair. Particularly if they don't understand the reasons, customer education is essential, is an effective yield management program. So customers can be further alienated if they feel victimized. So I already told you that the customer should not feel the discomfort in the service sector. If they feel discomfort in the service sector, they will not again require your services. They will not be loyal to your company. So therefore, this is the today's topic, that is yield management. So I already told you that yield management, the company should sustain in this environment. They should always focus the profit. The profit is very important, but at the same time, the remaining factors like providing good services, providing quality products, so satisfying the customer, they also should, in their mind, they also should consider all this concept. Then only the company will be recognized in today's environment, especially in the competitive environment. So this is today's topic, that is yield management. So thank you one and all. So we will see you in the next topic. We will see you in the next topic. Thank you one and all.